Come, let us explore meditation for beginners, the 7-point posture made simple. Oh, won't you please chat with me? But first I have to set my timer so I know how much time I'm spending yapping away. And now I must serenade you with my schnapps. Together. Our mind dwells in our central nervous system, and our central nervous system dwells in our physical body of flesh, blood, and bone. See, right there, that's an editing opportunity I cannot ignore. So I'm going to cut these two and paste them here. And I'm going to edit this bad boy. Let's hit insert and an accent there for ease of chanting. We're going to add an accent and a bold over the A, once again for ease of chanting. And let's try this again from the top. Our mind dwells in our central nervous system, and our central nervous system dwells in our physical body of flesh, blood, and bone. Good morning, Shivi. The advantage to this is that we could make subtle adjustments to the manner in which we sit, thus enhancing the duration and profundity of our practice of meditation. The Mahasiddhas let's try this again. The Mahasiddhas are great Buddhist yogis of India and Tibet organize the sitting instructions in an outline known as the 7-point posture of Vairochana. The first point concerns all lengths. We could find a so-called Mexican yoga blanket online for about $20. We can fold it in such a manner as to approximate a 24 by 18-inch rectangle. Let's stop chanting for a moment. I'm now going to actually show you my yoga blanket and how I fold it. So I'm going to tap button 4, move to Jumbo Cam. Okay, so here is a yoga blanket. It's pretty big. So now clearly it's made of cotton, and cotton is not earth friendly. If you can find one made of hemp, let me know, because I'll probably want to buy one too. So the first thing I do is I fold it lengthwise to make it kind of like a yoga mat. Then I fold it horizontally once, horizontally twice. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now you have your 24 by 18-inch approximate rectangle. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm gonna put it. Okay. All the way down. Oh, to move the floor. How'd that happen? Okay. Let's continue. I'm going to hit button 14. Please chat with me. May we remember to wash it weekly, for the work of sitting could be sweaty business. The majority of contemporary contemplative art depicts the Buddha sitting in a full lotus posture. What an excellent example of the effect of patriarchy's toxic elitism upon art. For few can comfortably and sustainably assume that posture or asana for 2 hours daily. The most ancient Buddhist art, however, depicts Gautama sitting in what some would describe as merely the quarter lotus posture. So quick like a bunny, I'm going to copy this and place it here as well. And I'm going to finagle the proportions so that it fits in. Okay. Wherein one leg lies flat upon the other like a sandwich. And I'm going to now drag you kicking and screaming back to Jumbo Cam and show you how I sit, which is that exact same way. So one leg and a leg on top of it. So let's continue. Well, I'm going to tap button 14. It is important, therefore, to remember that it is our hips that are ball joints, whereas our knees are merely hinge joints. Treating them as if they were as omnidirectional as our hip joints could lead our knees to could lead our, let's see. Knees to needless and unnecessary injury. By experimenting with our hinge ups, we could rest our insteps upon the blanket instead of the bony crowns of our ankles, which would be needlessly painful. So once again, go to tap button 4 and show you my ankles because I'm a cheeky monkey. So on the bottom foot, which is this one right here, you'll notice that it's not this part that's resting on the blanket. It's this part, the instep. And I do that by rotating from the hip, thusly. Oh boy. Let's continue. After a lifetime of sitting in chairs, a quarter lotus could feel like an impossibility. May we therefore remember not to force the posture. Once we have assumed a sustainable version of this posture let's try this again. Once we have assumed as sustainable a version of this posture as we can, we could surrender to temporary imperfection, allowing time and gravity to work their so-called magic, as they return our bodies to a semblance of the flexibility we once enjoyed as toddlers. Many find that by sitting... Many find that by sitting upon a circular meditation cushion or zafu, upon their float... see, that was an error. Let's try that again. Many find that by setting a circular meditation cushion or zafu upon the folded yoga blanket and resting one's tush upon it, enhances both the short-term comfort as well as the long-term endurance of our sitting. We could find a Zafu online for about $50. The better ones are filled with buckwheat hulls and have a side zipper through which we could add more holes once the old ones have settled. And you guessed it, it's time to play show and tell. So I'm going to tap button 4 again and stand up. This is my Zafu. Got it online probably close to 10 years ago. Here's the handle. Behind the handle, you can see a little bit, a zipper. Now I'm going to angle the camera so you can see the yoga blanket. And I'm going to rest the Zafu at the far end so there's a place for my shins. Okay, now I'll just cop a squat. Oh goodness, all the way down. Okay. Due to budget and idealism, I refrained from acquiring a Zafu for the first 20 years of my training. But finally, when I began developing bone spurs and torn joint lining in my hips, I broke down and acquired one. Let's continue. The second point concerns our hands, which we explored in great detail in a previous chapter discussing Bengali crease counting. The third point concerns all spine. With each inhalation, we could generate a vertical traction between the tush and the back of our head, as if we were pulling our head out of the warm, dark place we sometimes seem to keep it. During each exhalation, we are wired to subtly relax this traction. The fourth point concerns our shoulder blades or scapula. With each inhalation, the vertical traction of our spine could gently open our shoulder blades in a manner reminiscent of a hungry vulture spreading its wings to protect its meal from greedy competitors. Vultures are often referenced in Buddhist teachings as a reminder of the inevitability of the various forms of impermanence, which, although inconvenient and sometimes frightening, could aid our training in release and letting go. The fifth point concerns our head, with each inhalation subtly dropping our chin down towards our breastbone or sternum could be the natural consequence of subtly pulling the back of our head up while simultaneously opening our shoulder blades. The sixth point concerns our mouth, with each inhalation our jaw could subtly part. And a subtle smile. I really want to put an image of Jaws from the original movie on that page. I think it would be funny. A subtle smile could start at the corners of our lips, ascend through the apples of our cheeks and perch upon the crow's feet of our eyes. As the tip of our tongue gingerly touches the roof of our mouth just behind our incisors, The seventh and final point concerns our eyes. Though some insist there are supernatural benefits to be had from staring at either the sky or the horizon, our inhalations kinesiological momentum of spinal traction, scapula opening and chin dropping, strongly infer that softly gazing down toward the floor or earth at a place about 1 or 2 meters before us is most sustainable. Yes, the 7-point posture of Adhochana could feel overwhelming. May we therefore give ourselves permission to have a learning curve and allow the upward organization of the 7 points of leg, spine, shoulder blades, head, mouth, and gaze to gently and organically guide us with each inhalation. Doing so, we cannot help but relish each exhalation, subtle release. Like the archetype of Gautama, the Buddha, may we too practice mindfulness and meditation. Fabulous. But wait. Having completed the opening lesson, we now switch gears to the main practice. It is Yoda Monday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation the way only an autistic can, so that I could become your nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So now, having finished the housekeeping, we turn to this morning's main practice, or the main event for boxing fans. The contemporary practice of in the contemporary practice of let's see here. I'm going to find another word to use. Okay, let's use this. In the contemporary practice of Tantra, completion stage or energy work, creation stage or simile chanting, so the contemporary practice of Tantra could be described in terms of completion stage, creation stage, and great completion stage, or mindfulness and meditation. So quick like a bunny, I'm going to adjust the size of this font and see if I can't make everything fit on one line. Almost. Let's try 16. Let's try 14, 12, 11. Oh, that's just crazy. Let's stick with 16 and just make this a little smaller. Let's make this a little smaller. Wow, that is just taking its sweet time, isn't it? Let's go back to 16. Okay, close enough for government. So now that I've regaled you with needless editing, let's move. Oh, look what I did to the screen. Let's see if I can't fix that by tapping button 9 and being on my merry way. Let's rest the tip of our left index finger upon its thumb and then rest that left hand upon its thigh. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the crown region of our head. Over the next 5 pages, we're going to play with recitations designed to stimulate the neural pathways that support empathy. Let us begin with the idealistic. In all compassion may we long to free all beings, choices, utterances, and deeds from the tyranny of the survival impulses of hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the 3 mental poisons. And we now pivot in a more practical direction. In our pragmatism may our liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance upon the Buddhas. Example instructions and students described by the metaphor of the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. We're now going to recite or chant an 8-syllable synopsis of the previous 4 pages. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. May we free all through the 3 jewels. And that's lovely. And now we come to, oops, let's see here. And now we come to creation stages, wise similes to better master, oopsie, that's a mistake. The impermanence and interdependence integral to the first fold of the Buddha's 8-fold path. Please chant with me. Rather than indulge our controlling tendencies with the follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore accept the rigidity that confuses metaphors or statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. The Buddha was fond of organizing reality in terms of the 4 bases of mindfulness, which we could sequence, which are sometimes sequenced as the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental. Please chant with me. All circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. So now what we can do for the next 28 breaths is silently and mentally recite this 6-syllable synopsis of that which we chanted in harmony with our inhalation, with the next 28 inhalations and exhalations. Please chant with me. All bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. Oopsie. Control B. INTERPERSONAL. Let's go over here and hit delete. Let's go up one and down one and see if we can't adjust this image. And let's make sure this fits on the screen. Excellent. And now let us silently and mentally recite the 6-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted over the next 28 inhalations and exhalations. That is so weird. What's going on here? Please chant with me. All interpersonal communication or speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. Let us now silently and mentally recite this 6-syllable synopsis of these past 2 pages during our next 28 inhalations and exhalations. Please chant with me. All minds could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light. That could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be not graspable to the hand. Let us now recite the 6-syllable synopsis of these past 4 pages, silently and mentally, over the span of the next 28 inhalations and exhalations. We come now to the first of 5 sets of mindful crease counting meditation. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap, that our real or imagined subtle energies might automatically coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Let's chant an explanation of the Benzaguru mantra. I invoke teachers on action, on meditation, and home view that the Benza Tantra Guru teaches. Pay my enlightenment and city abilities, who may be mastered by all. During our inhalation, let us silently and mentally recite the concise instructions of mindfulness and meditation. During our exhalation, let us physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 5 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Ahum Benzo Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 During our inhalation, we can vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination, as silently and mentally we recite the demonstrative pronoun this. During each exhalation, we can physically relax and mentally release that our let's try this again. Well, yes. We can, during our exhalation, we can physically relax and mentally release that which we noticed during our previous inhalation, as silently and mentally we recite the one-syllable verb ease. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of its left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of its left middle finger, palms up in our lap, that we might gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce in the heart region of our chest. Let us rest the tip of each of our left fingers upon the great knuckles of our right hand, palms up in our lap. That doing so, we might gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the region of our throat that feels rather tight just before we cry. Let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap, that we might gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to automatically coalesce at the crown of our head. Excuse me. Let us chant. Let us chant creation stages, kind similes, to better master the loving kindness integral to the second through fifth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. May each mind of each being to be as joyfully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by 80 Klebunserable Zero Bija Mantra. During our inhalation, we can silently and mentally recite the 8-syllable synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can into the recitation of this 12-syllable mantra. Om Ahum Benzo Guru Mima Ziri Hung. 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 Well, that was weird. Let's try that again. What follows is not a prayer to a real or imagined celestial entity, but rather words we're using to guide our intention that we might strengthen the neural pathways responsible for empathy. Please chant with me. May all relationships, communication, or speech of all beings now be as peacefully loving as a real or imagined Buddha's speech, symbolized by a multisyllabic mantra. During our inhalation, silently and mentally, we could recite the synopsis of that which we just chanted. During our exhalation, we could physically relax as best we could, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 5 times per breath for a total of 5 breaths. Om Ahum Benzo Guru Mema Siddhi Hung 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 And for the next 24 repetitions, let us silently and mentally recite this loving wish, this loving intention. Please chant with me. May all bodies, all forms, all beings now enjoy the beautiful health represented by Buddha's statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined yidam, an archetype of enlightenment such as Kuntu Zongpo Yam. During our inhalation, let us silently and mentally recite the 8-syllable synopsis of the last 2 pages we chanted. During our exhalation, let us physically relax as best we can while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 5 times per breath for a total of 5 breaths. Om Mahum Benzo Guru Me Mazari Hung 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 Please chant with me. Let's lovingly wish that all beings be liberated from the tyranny of others. Sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, classism, exploitation, fascism, jingoism, genocide, speciesism, and ecocide. May each circumstance or lot of each being now have the safety and good fortune or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined, paradise pure land of Vati depicted in Buddhist paintings. Om Ahum Guru Mimazari Hum 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 You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 8 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.